I grew up in Lexington. My father was a professor at the University of Kentucky Medical School. He taught gross anatomy and histology. And I really wanted to leave town as a senior in high school. I did not want to go to the University of Kentucky. But my mom and dad divorced when I was a senior in high school. And so for them, I needed to go to the University of Kentucky. I think tuition was $372 a semester at that time. And what a bargain. I had a great education there. My name is Ouita Michel, and I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. I debated for Henry Clay High School as a high school student and fell in love with the activity. And the saving grace for me about having to attend the University of Kentucky was that it had a fantastic debate program. The professors that I had in arts and sciences at that time, they formed really my foundation for how I see my world and myself and how I integrate the two things together. I was coached by Roger Solt, who was our debate coach, and he's my business partner today. And in 1986, we won the National Debate Championship. It was the first debate championship for the University of Kentucky, and I was only the second woman in history to win that debate championship. Through traveling on all these debate tournaments, I fell in love with restaurant culture because we would go to Chicago, we'd go to Greektown, we'd go to Boston for the Harvard tournament. And when I was 21, I had sort of I call it my midlife crisis. I had it at 21 and decided just to try cooking. Cooking in a restaurant, in a very weird way, is very similar to the intensity that you have in a highly competitive intercollegiate debate round. It's very fast. The sense of urgency is the same. The sense of timing is very similar. So I got hooked on that. At the end of 1989, I enrolled in the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York. I met my husband, Chris, on the first day of school at the Culinary Institute of America. Yeah, I did. He showed up in a tweed jacket with leather patches on the elbow. Tall, handsome. When Chris and I returned to Lexington, originally it was just to plan our wedding. And when we got back here, there was something about it that had changed for me, and I didn't want to go back to New York. Well, one of the things I think that's so special about Holly Hill Inn is that it is a very personal space. My mother and father are both great artists. The inn is filled with both of their paintings and their work. My stepmom Gretchen, my dad Ray, my mom Pam, and my stepfather Bob really encouraged all of myself and my siblings to follow our dreams, and not just in a vacant way, but by showing up and really helping us see that we could achieve those things. Just before my 50th birthday, my mom passed away, and she was, really my anchor. She was a teenage mother herself, so the two of us were really very, very close. I think my opening so many restaurants was a response to my grief at losing her. My response to every stressful situation is always just to work. And it sees me through. I find business very, very, very creative. The idea of poetry and how poetry can translate to the visual and physical feeling of eating and cooking, that all came from Jane Vance. The depth of my thinking about food and local agriculture and the significance of food in our emotional and spiritual lives and hospitality, that all came from my experience at the University of Kentucky. A liberal arts education isn't about establishing a vocation. There's no reason for us to be training automatons. We need to be training people to critically think and feel and be in their lives and engage in their communities. Higher education has certain ideals for me that it should aspire to. And I learned that from Ray Betts. I learned that from Dan Rowland. I learned that from Jane Vance. I learned it from the best. I hope every freshman enters their college education aspiring to something that's not a job. Don't pigeonhole yourself too early. Let your mind explore these other ideas to truly find your passion, and then you'll never work a day in your life.